Hello, my dear students. Today we are taking a start to a new series of metabolic pathways, that is, metabolism of individual amino acids. In this series, we will be discussing individual acid metabolism of phenylalanine, tyrosine, glycine, tryptophan, histidine, etc. Today I take a start with phenylalanine and tyrosine metabolism. These two amino acids are phenylalanine, they are from aromatic amino acids. Phenylalanine is the essential amino acid, whereas tyrosine is produced from phenylalanine, so it becomes non-essential amino acid. The India is metabolism. We will be discussing different pathways for tyrosine metabolism. Ultimately, that will be part of phenylalanine metabolism. Here in tyrosine, in this figure is shown that tyrosine is metabolized to glucose and fat. This is catabolic pathway. Tyrosine is converted into fumarate and acetoacetate with use glucose and fat. All the amino acids what we discussed, they are part of proteins. So this inclusion of the amino acid in the protein biosynthesis is common to all. So here these three pathways: conversion to glucose, conversion to fat, and inclusion into protein is common for these two amino acids. Now in a specialized product, we have melanin, which is synthesized in skin, hair and eye. Tyrosine is converted into melanin. Then tyrosine is converted in central nervous system, in brain, into dopamines, and this is converted into norepinephrine, epinephrine in adult medulla. The thyroxine hormones T3, T4, they are also formed from tyrosine. So these metabolic pathways we will take up one by one. Phenylalanine is an essential aromatic amino acid. Tyrosine is non-essential aromatic amino acid. Both glucogenic and ketogenic amino acids. The predominant metabolism of phenylalanine occurs through tyrosine. Phenylalanine is converted to tyrosine. Predominant metabolism of phenylalanine occurs through tyrosine. Even in non-availability of phenylalanine, the functions related to phenylalanine are not disturbed because of the sparing action of tyrosine on phenylalanine. The important biological compounds which are synthesized from tyrosine are tyrosine is converted into epinephrine, norepinephrine, tyrosine is converted into melanin pigment, and tyrosine is converted into TCT4 thyroid hormone. Here we take the very first reaction of phenylalanine metabolism, that is conversion of phenylalanine to tyrosine. Phenylalanine is converted into tyrosine in presence of molecular oxygen. This reaction is also called as mixed function oxidase reaction because the molecular oxygen is split up into two atoms of oxygen. One goes to form water, other goes to convert phenylalanine into tyrosine. The enzyme is tyrosine hydroxylase and the cofactor is tetrahydrobiopterin, which is activated in presence of NADPH. So synthesis of tyrosine this is a more clear diagram as phenylalanine in presence of phenylalanine hydroxylase gets converted into tyrosine. The cofactor is ectobiopterin, that is tetrahydrobiopterin, which is converted or oxidized to dihydrobiopterin. In turn, the dihydrobiopterin is converted back to tetrahydrobiopterin by a reductase enzyme which takes the reducing equivalent from NADPH. NADPH is converted to NAD and dihydrobiopterin is converted to tetrahydrobiopterin. Molecular O2 gives one side H2O, another side it gets incorporated into the aromatic ring of phenylalanine to form tyrosine. The mechanism of the reaction is it involves incorporation of one atom of molecular oxygen into para position of phenylalanine while the other atom of oxygen is reduced to form water. It requires a specific coenzyme biopterin structurally related to folate. The active form of biopterin is tetrahydrobiopterin. It is oxidized to dihydrobiopterin and biopterin. Tetrahydrobiopterin is regenerated by an NADPH dependent dihydrobiopterin reductase. Tetrahydrobiopterin supplies reducing equivalent to phenylalanine hydroxylase. Here is the overview of the pathway, metabolic pathway of phenylalanine. There are two metabolic pathways. One is called as major, other is called as minor. Major, where the phenylalanine is converted into fumarate and acetoacetate by 6 reactions. This is normal reactions. But in case the reaction number 1, that is phenylalanine to tyrosine, which we have just discussed, if it is blocked due to deficiency or absence of phenylalanine hydroxylase, then an alternate pathway is initiated that gives minor pathway, where phenylalanine is converted into phenyl pyruvic acid, then it is converted into phenyl lactate, phenyl acetate. So that is minor pathway. Major pathway, 6 steps. Phenylalanine to tyrosine 1, tyrosine to para-hydroxyphenyl pyruvic acid 2. Para-hydroxyphenyl pyruvate is then converted into homogentisate. Chemically it is 2,5-dihydroxyphenyl acetate. This homogenetic acid then is subjected to ring breaking reaction by an enzyme homogentisate oxidase, and we get a compound mallyl acetoacetate. Mallyl acetoacetate is then isomerized to give fumaryl acetoacetate. Fumaryl acetate, the last reaction is it is hydrolyzed to give fumarate and acetoacetate. Acetoacetate then enters the ketone body formation pathway, whereas fumarate enters the glucose forming pathway. This way we say that the phenylalanine is glucogenic as well as ketogenic. Here it is a mention given that when the reaction conversion of homogenetic acid to mallyl acetoacetic acid is blocked because of absence or deficiency of the enzyme homogentic acid oxidase, then it will cause accumulation of homogenetic acid that is excreted in urine, and urine will become blackish. That we are going to discuss in detail. This situation is called as alkaptonuria. That block is mentioned here is that alkaptonuria. Let us go in detail all these pathways. Say here degradation phenylalanine and tyrosine, that major pathway is given. Phenylalanine is acted upon by phenylalanine hydroxylase reaction already discussed. Then tyrosine is formed. Tyrosine then is acted upon by a transaminase. Transaminase will transfer the amino group from one amino acid to a keto acid. So alpha ketoglutarate is the keto acid which will take away the amino group and get converted into glutamate, and tyrosine is converted into para-hydroxyphenyl pyruvate. This para-hydroxyphenyl pyruvate in presence of ascorbate and an enzyme called as para-hydroxyphenyl pyruvate dioxygenase is converted into homogentisate. Here, the homogentisate is formed by the action of this dioxygenase enzyme. This homogenetic acid is then is spilled up. This is acted upon by oxidase enzyme, and that is then spilled up to give mallyl acetoacetate. And here on the left side, you see mallyl acetate is the hydrolytic is the product of homogenetic acid oxidase. For understanding the correct idea of the reactions which we are going to discuss, it is rewritten that 4-mallyl acetoacetic acid is given in the linear form. This is then converted by reaction number 5 into fumaryl acetoacetate. It is a simple isomerization conversion of mallyl acetoacetate to fumaryl acetoacetate. This fumaryl acetate by reaction number 6 is hydrolyzed by addition of water molecule into fumarate and acetoacetate. Here ends the major metabolic pathway of phenylalanine. Now fumarate will go to glucose formation or TCA cycle, and acetoacetate will go to fat metabolism or ketone body formation. That is further extrapolation of this pathway. These 6 reactions will tell us how phenylalanine is catabolized to fumarate and acetoacetate. It is the normal catabolic pathway. The other metabolic pathways are for discussing the special products, specialized product we call it, the biologically important products. In tyrosine is converted into some neurotransmitters. Dopamine is converted to norepinephrine to epinephrine. Since dopamine is the neurotransmitter, norepinephrine and epinephrine, they are formed from dopamine, they are also neurotransmitter. This dopamine formation takes place within the substantia nigra and some other regions of the brain. Synthesis proceeds only to dopamine formation. Here it ends, the formation of dopamine. Whereas in adrenal cortex, in adrenal medulla, the dopamine is converted further into norepinephrine and then to epinephrine. So the details are given here that tyrosine is acted upon by tyrosine hydroxylase to give dopa, dihydroxyphenylalanine, and that dopa is then converted into dopamine by decarboxylation. Dopamine, this reaction, as I said, it takes place in brain. It stops in brain here, and dopamine is formed. Whereas further steps of this dopamine getting converted into norepinephrine and epinephrine, that occurs in adrenal medulla. Dopamine is converted into norepinephrine, that is by hydroxylation of the beta carbon. That CH atom is converted into CH2 is converted into CHOH. A hydroxyl group is added, so dopamine is converted into norepinephrine. This norepinephrine is then further added with a methyl group to form N-methyl dopamine. That N-methyl beta hydroxydopamine, that is the other name of that is epinephrine. The methyl group is shown here is donated by S-adenosyl methionine. S-adenosyl methionine is also called as universal methyl group donor. Many compounds are methylated by taking methyl group from SAM. When SAM gives methyl group to a acceptor molecule, it itself gets converted into SAH, S-adenosyl homocysteine. That is shown in the reaction where norepinephrine is converted into epinephrine. Norepinephrine will accept the methyl group at N position and forms N-methyl beta hydroxy beta hydroxydopamine, and it will get converted to epinephrine. This reaction occurs only in adrenal medulla. Now we go for the next special product, a biologically compound formed from tyrosine, that is the thyroid hormone T4, T3. These two hormones are formed from thyroid formed from the tyrosine in the thyroid gland. Triiodothyronine is also formed during this. So these are synthesized from tyrosine. This occurs by iodination. Tyrosine is iodinated to give MIT, producing then MIT is accept one more iodine to form DIT, diiodotyrosine. That diiodotyrosine is further converted into tri- and tetraiodotyrosine in the globular molecule, in the globulin molecules. Breaking of that thyroglobulin molecule releases the free hormones. We see details of this reaction. So here tyrosine on the left side is converted into MIT by accepting one iodine, and on the right side it will be converted into DIT, diiodotyrosine, by accepting two iodines, two iodine atoms. It forms diiodo. Next step is formation of T3 and formation of T4, triiodothyronine and tetraiodothyronine. Tetraiodothyronine may form by just condensation of two DID forming triido, or it may be formed from the triido. One triido molecule will accept one more MIT and it will form tetraiodothyronine. So here on the left side, monoiodotyrosine is converted into triiodotyrosine by condensing with one molecule of dihydrotyrosine, DIT. MIT plus DIT gives the TIT, T3. Whereas on the right side, tetraiodine form from DIT plus DIT. Two molecules of DIT, they condense to form to QT4. Here one thing is missing. One alanine molecule is liberated. When MIT combines with DIT, it gives away one alanine molecule and then forms T3. Next biochemically important compound is melanin, that pigment. Melanin is a pigment that occurs in several tissues, particularly the eye, hair, and skin. It is synthesized from tyrosine in the epidermis by pigment forming cells called melanocytes. Its function is to protect underlying cells from the harmful effects of sunlight. So synthesis of melanin, the reactions of synthesis of melanin are given here. First, tyrosine is oxidized by tyrosinase to give dihydrophenylalanine, DOPA. Since this DOPA is formed, tyrosine converted to DOPA in melanocyte gives, this reaction occurs in melanocytes. Whereas the reaction which we have discussed for adrenal medulla, the dopamine, that occurs in adrenal medulla. There is a difference in tissue. So DOPA is then acted upon by one more molecule, one more enzyme. It is converted into one more hydroxylation by again same enzyme tyrosinase to give dopaquinone. Dopaquinone it is subjected to polymerization. It spontaneously first forms leukodopachrome. This leukodopachrome formation is associated with the formation of dopachrome. Dopachrome is formed when the dopaquinone condenses with one molecule of cysteine to give dopachrome. This dopachrome then polymerizes to give the melanin pigment which is red in color. So red melanin is formed from dopachrome. Dopachrome is formed from dopaquinone by condensation of cysteine. On the left hand side, the spontaneously dopaquinone is converted into leukodopachrome, that is then converted into 5,6-dihydroxyindole. This is converted into indole 5,6-quinone, which is polymerized and gives black melanin. Now we go to the very important aspect of the phenylalanine metabolism, that is inborn errors of metabolism. So in phenylalanine, we have discussed the catabolic pathway converting phenylalanine and tyrosine into fumarate and acetoacetate. Then we have discussed the special pathway which converts tyrosine to the thyroid hormones. We have discussed the conversion of tyrosine to dopamine and norepinephrine and epinephrine. Now here we discuss inborn errors of metabolism. What is an inborn error? An inherited enzyme deficiency. The inherited enzyme deficiency causing by mutation of genes leading to the disruption of normal bodily metabolism, accumulation of a toxic substrate because of the blockage in the metabolic pathway. The substrate accumulates. The compound acted upon by the enzyme in a chemical reaction, that substrate is accumulated and it becomes toxic and impaired formation of a product normally produced by the deficiency of enzyme. One side the substrate will accumulate and other side the product will diminish or it will be impaired. So here the Garrett series given. Garrett was the scientist who first time gave the idea of inborn errors of metabolism. According to Garrett, a metabolic pathway where A is converted into B, B is converted into C by different enzymes. If there is a blockage or deficiency of an enzyme which converts B into C, that blockage will lead to diversion of the pathway. A new product D will form, and that product, because it is abnormal product, it will be a toxic metabolite. So C, normal metabolite, will be diminished, and D, a toxic metabolite, will be accumulating. So this occurs whenever there is blockage in the metabolic pathway. This leads to different types of inborn errors. More than 50 of these disorders have been described. Inborn errors, collectively they constitute a very significant portion of pediatric genetic disease. Phenylketonuria, which we are going to discuss today, is the most common type of disease in inborn errors of metabolism. What is phenylketonuria? Enzyme deficiency in PKU, phenylketonuria, results from a deficiency of the enzyme phenylalanine hydroxylase. This is the reaction number 1, what we have already discussed, that phenylalanine is converted into tyrosine by phenylalanine hydroxylase, where theta-hydrobiopterin is the cofactor getting converted into dihydrobiopterin, and a molecular oxygen use is one atom to form water molecule and one atom to convert phenylalanine into tyrosine. And there is a regeneration of the theta-hydrobiopterin with the help of NADPH. So this tyrosine forming reaction or conversion of phenylalanine to tyrosine is blocked in phenylketonuria because of deficiency or absence of phenylalanine hydroxylase. Due to the deficiency of phenylalanine is converted to phenyl pyruvate. This is when the normal pathway is blocked phenylalanine is not allowed to get converted into phenyl tyrosine, that blockage will result into formation of pyruvate. Pyruvate in turn will be converted into phenyl lactate, phenyl acetate, and phenyl acetylglutamine like products which are excreted. So this pathway is called as minor pathway. When major pathway is blocked because of deficiency of the enzyme phenylalanine hydroxylase, formation of phenyl pyruvate, formation of phenyl lactate, formation of phenyl acetate, acetylglutamine like compound is due to the minor pathway. Due to defect in phenylalanine hydroxylase, the conversion of phenylalanine to tyrosine is blocked, resulting in high levels of phenylalanine in the body. The accumulation of phenylalanine also increases in the body because it is not allowed to get metabolized by the normal metabolic pathway. That condition is called as PKU or phenylketonuria. There are many types of phenylketonuria. The classic one is the characteristic of classic one. We find that phenylalanine is present in elevated concentrations in tissues, plasma, and urine. Phenyl lactate, phenyl acetate, and phenyl pyruvate, which are not normally produced in significant amount in the presence of functional phenylalanine hydroxylase, also elevated in PKU. The disease acquired its name from the presence of a phenyl ketone, now known as phenyl pyruvate, in the urine. Signs and symptoms of PKU. Major defect is mental retardation, failure to walk or talk, seizures, hyperactivity, tremors, microcephaly, and failure to grow. These metabolites give urine a characteristic musty or mousy odor. These clinical manifestations are now rarely seen because the neonatal screening for the deficiency of phenylalanine hydroxylase is correcting, and the treatment after identifying the disease is reducing the number of patients suffering from the phenylketonuria. Here a photo of a patient who is mentally retarded is given. This excess phenylalanine concentration prevents normal brain development and results into mental retardation. Why the CNS symptoms occurs? What is the biochemical basis for that? Accumulation of phenylalanine in the brain impairs the transport of and metabolism of other aromatic amino acids, that is tryptophan and tyrosine. The synthesis of serotonin, which takes place from tryptophan, which is an excitatory neurotransmitter from tryptophan, is insufficient, that results into central nervous system symptoms, CNS symptoms. Diagnosis. The laboratory test for diagnosis of phenylketonuria is ferric chloride test. That is, urine is tested for the with ferric chloride, which gives green color due to the presence of phenyl pyruvic acid. This phenyl pyruvic acid, if present, it will reduce the ferric chloride and change the color to green color. That will be one indication of PKU. The other is Gothrie's test, where the bacteria, Bacillus subtilis biostate takes place. With this test, one can determine that the phenylalanine concentration in the blood is more, and that will indicate the PKU presence of PKU, and the normal level is 1 to 2 milligram. Treatment of PKU: maintenance of plasma phenylalanine concentration with normal limit is a challenging task in treatment of PKU. This is done by strictly limiting dietary intake of phenylalanine and supplementing intake of tyrosine. Most experts believe that the diet should be adhered to the throughout life, but this can be very difficult, especially during adolescence and early adulthood. Here, some foods prescribed for PKU patients are given. This diet essentially excluding milk and dairy products, meat, fish, chicken, eggs, beans, and nuts, which all contain very high levels of phenylalanine, should be restricted. Fruit, vegetable, breads, and pastas also contain some phenylalanine and cannot be eaten freely. Soft drinks and foods containing sweeteners, aspartame, must also be avoided. So we can imagine how difficult it is to maintain the low phenylalanine diet with these restrictions. The second disease in phenylalanine metabolism, second inborn errors of phenylalanine metabolism is alkaptonuria. Alkaptonuria is a rare metabolic disease involving a deficiency in homogenetic acid oxidase, resulting in the accumulation of homogenetic acid oxidase. We have seen that phenylalanine is converted to tyrosine, tyrosine is converted into para-hydroxyphenylalanine, which is converted into homogenetic acid. That homogenetic acid is further metabolized to give maryl acetoacetate and fumaryl acetate. Now, there is a blockage because of the deficiency of the enzyme homogenetic acid. Conversion of homogenetic acid to maryl acetoacetate is blocked. That results into accumulation of homogenetic acid that is excreted through urine. Conversion of homogeneous acid to alkapton. Homogenetic acid is in presence of polyphenol oxidase gets converted into benzone acetate, which is converted into a black pigment called as alkapton that binds to the tissue to connect to tissue, bones, and various organs, nose, ear, etc., resulting in conditions known as chronosis. So here is the photograph of which shows achronosis in ear, in eye, and in fingers. That is accumulation of black pigment. Achronosis can be detected, or PKU alkaptonic can be detected from by observing the change in color of the urine. The first shows that urine collected, which is brown in color, when kept in light, after some time it becomes black due to the formation of alkapton. Here the X-ray photograph of a patient suffering from alkaptonuria is given. It shows the vertebrae, they are damaged due to the accumulation of alkapton pigment. Dark staining of the diaper sometimes can indicate the disease in infants, but usually no symptoms are present until later in life. Change in the color of the urine on standing to brown to dark is one of the symptoms of alkaptonuria. The alkaptonuria symptoms illness has three characteristic symptoms: homogenetic aciduria, because homogenetic acid is water soluble it is excreted, and his renal tissue, when it crosses the renal tissue, it is excreted in urine, and presence of homogenetic acid in urine is one symptom, which is that homogenetic acid is oxidized to a dark pigment on standing. Large joint arthritis, black chronotic pigmentation of cartilage and collagenous tissues. These are the symptoms of alkaptonuria. Diagnosis depends upon the change in color in the urine on standing to brown to black. Urine gives positive with ammoniacal silver nitrate. This test is similar to that of Biuret test, a reduction test when urine reduces the ammoniacal silver nitrate, and that is due to strong reducing activity of homogeneity. Treatment: diet low in phenylalanine and tyrosine helps in reducing the levels of homogenetic acid and decrease the amount of pigment deposit in the body tissue. Although alkaptonuria is not life-threatening, the associated arthritis may be severely crippling. The other blockage in the metabolic pathway of tyrosine is due to deficiency of enzymes, a transaminase and an hydroxylase. This here in tyrosinemia is shown, which is also called as Weismann-Halt syndrome. It is due to deficiency of transaminase. Accumulation of tyrosine and its metabolites, phenyl acetate, phenyl lactate, and phenyl pyruvate occurs. Characteristic of it is characterized by dermatitis, eye lesions, and mental retardation. This is one type of tyrosinemia. Two different types of tyrosinemia have been identified: type 1 and type 2. Type 1 is caused by deficiency of cytoplasmic fumarate acetoacetate hydrolase. Type 2 is caused by deficiency of tyrosine transaminase. We have just referred the deficiency of tyrosine transaminase, which is tyrosinemia type 2. Type 1 tyrosinemia is also called as tyrosinosis, is more common with an incidence of 1.5 per thousand live births. Accumulation of fumarate acetoacetate and related organic acids caused a cabbage-like odor, abnormal liver function test, and renal tubular dysfunction are the symptoms of type 1 tyrosinemia. So it is presented as presentation of tyrosinosis or tyrosinemia. Is acute tyrosinosis is seen that is fatal if not treated, and chronic tyrosinosis the patient may survive for 8 to 10 years. Acute tyrosinosis, in case of tyrosinemia type 1, that is deficiency of the enzyme fumarate acetoacetate hydrolase. Infant exhibits diarrhea, vomiting, cabbage-like odor due to accumulation of fumarate acetoacetate and related organic acids. They do not thrive well, and there is usually the death is usually associated with liver damage. Infants die from liver damage. Untreated acute tyrosinosis cases do not survive, and death occurs within 6 to 8 months. Chronic tyrosinosis, that is, clinical features are similar to that of middle symptom, middler symptom, and course of disease. Children survive, but in the if untreated cases lead to death by the age of 10 years. Management of tyrosinosis, in both the acute and chronic tyrosinemia, the level of tyrosine are elevated to 6 to 10 milligram per deciliter. Involved diet low in phenylalanine and tyrosine, and sometimes low in methionine. Type 2 tyrosinemia, probably caused by deficiency of tyrosine transaminase deficiency, mental retardation, painful corneal erosions, and plaque inflammation from intracellular crystallization of tyrosine, and keratosis of Palmar surface dermatitis. Blood plasma tyrosine is elevated to 4 to 5 milligram per deciliter. Low tyrosine and low phenylalanine diet are beneficial. There is third type of tyrosinemia called as neonatal tyrosinemia. Transient tyrosinemia of the newborn, particularly in premature infant, is the most common form of tyrosinemia in infancy. It is caused by absence of the enzyme para-hydroxyphenylpyruvate dehydrogenase, which is responsible for the formation of homogenetic acid, one step before the alkaptonuria enzyme. Treatment involves feeding diet low in protein, especially diets low in phenylalanine and tyrosine. It is mostly a benign condition and responds well to ascorbic acid. Now, next blockage in the pathway is albuminism. When tyrosine is converted into the pigment melanin, that pathway is blocked. Right in the earlier steps, when phenylalanine is converted to tyrosine and tyrosine will be converted into dopaquinone, the enzyme tyrosinase is responsible for this reaction is deficient. Hence, the conversion of tyrosine to dopaquinone or other polymers of melanin is blocked, and there is a deficiency of melanin pigment. There is one type of albinism called as oculocutaneous albinism. It is decreased pigmentation of skin and eyes. They can be differentiated by clinical presentation and biochemical and other features into two types: tyrosine negative albinism and tyrosine positive albinism. Tyrosine positive albinism is less severe form of albinism where defect is with uptake of tyrosine by melanocyte. First one is tyrosine negative, that is deficiency or absence of enzyme tyrosinase in the melanocyte. So tyrosine is not converted into melanin pigment. Second type, there is no deficiency of tyrosine activity, but there is a deficiency in the uptake of tyrosine by the melanocyte. So this result in melanocyte deficient state or albinism. This photo shows the oculocutaneous albinism having eyebrows and lashes without any melanin pigment. Ocular albinism, this is different from oculocutaneous albinism, affects only eyes, not skin. It occurs both autosomal recessive and X-linked trait. Phenotypically, the heterozygotes are usually normal. Next is Parkinson disease. The Parkinson disease is due to it commonly seen in elderly persons due to degeneration of certain parts of the brain. We may not include it into inborn errors of disease. It is one of the pathology because of the brain damage. There is decreased production of dopamine because of brain damage. So the diagram shows that cut section of a midbrain where a portion of the substantia nigra is visible. So in Parkinson disease, diminished substantia nigra is seen in the patients of Parkinson disease. The signs and symptoms of Parkinson disease are, you can remember that by four cardinal features. Remember acronym TRAP. T for tremor, R for rigidity, A for akinesis, and P for postural changes. This way, we are now completing the discussion on metabolism of phenylalanine and tyrosine and the inborn errors of this pathway. Here, the diagrammatic representation of aromatic amino acidureas are given. One type of aciduria we get when phenylalanine hydroxylase is absent. Other type of is when homogenetic acid oxidase is deficient, and in tyrosine deficiency of fumarate acetoacetate hydrolase will result into tyrosinosis. So here the list is given: block in phenylketonuria, block in tyrosinemia, type 2 enzyme is tyrosine transaminase, block in transient tyrosinemia of newborn, that is C, and block in alkaptonuria. E is the block in tyrosinemia type 1 enzyme fumarate acetoacetate hydrolase. This completes our today's discussion. Thank you.